Hello, everyone, and welcome to my UFC Perth Ulberg versus Reyes predictions. Man, we about to get into this. So yeah, let's just hop right into it, man. Oh wait, let me get my camera fixed. I usually forget to do this before I start the video. Right there we go. Oh man. All right. First fight of the night, we got Loma Lookboonmee versus Alexia Thainara. Personally, I'm gonna be going with Alexia Thainara here. I just think I think she's really good, man. And she's 12-1. That's a really good record, especially for a women's fighter. And Alexia Thainara, she's just really strong. I think at least 80% of her wins are by submission, right? She's incredible, dude. She's actually like like a little prodigy. Speaking of prodigy, we're gonna get to somebody else on the card that's also a female that I think is an absolute prodigy, man. But here I'm going with Alexia Thainara, man. She's fucking massive for the strawweight division. Absolutely huge. Oh, shut up. She's huge, man. And oh my god, I got so much shit popping up on my screen. What is this shit? I don't care if there's an error on the screen, okay? Get the fuck out of here. Am I still recording? Shut up! I am still recording. Absolute bullshit, man. Like, what's going on? I got Alexia Thainara by submission here, dude. She's really good. I expect massive things from her. She's a really good grappler. I mean, you guys seen what she did to Molly McCann? Not that that's like a crazy accomplishment. Also, sorry if you hear people in the back. My brother and his girlfriend are here, and they're kind of loud. So, and this house has very, very thin walls, so even I gotta talk a little lightly, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I'm going with Alexia Thainara here by submission. Loma Lookboonmee is good as well. She is, but I just don't think she's Alexia Thainara level, man. You've seen her against Molly McCann. She can toss women. She can toss these women around, and hey, she's borderline. She's borderline, and if you don't know if you don't know what that means, then I'm sorry. But yeah, moving on to Brando Peredic versus Alicia Ellison. Don't I got notes for this one? Oh yeah, right here. I'm gonna go with Brando Peredic here. He's just better, man. I mean, both of these guys have finished all of their wins, so that is really impressive. It is. Let me see here. I wrote. I think. Oh, dude. I don't know if you guys watched tape on Brendo, dude, but his fight versus Randall Raymond, the epitome of an MMA fight, dude. It was so entertaining. Brendo dropped him with a jab like 10 seconds in, and they went to war, hurting each other. There was a lot of striking, grappling, submission attempts. I mean, bro, MMA at its finest, man. And he looked really, really good. He also has a 15-second TKO, which is always impressive. It doesn't matter who you fight. It doesn't matter who you are and who you fight. If you knock out a fellow trained mixed martial artist that's inside the UFC or just anywhere, if you knock any other trained MMA fighter out that is trained to beat you, and you knock him out in 15 seconds, like, that's always going to be impressive to me, It's just what it is, dude, because you can be good, but are you really knocking people out in 15 seconds good? You know what I'm saying? But, and he's got good hands, and I will say, though, he's got even better kicks, dude. Brando's kicks, they're a thing of beauty, man. He throws them with intent, too, man. He, throws them with a real devastating power, man. And Alicia Ellison, he's never been to round two, not once in his career. So, Brendo has been to round two, so that is also an advantage for him if this gets out of the first round. Alicia Ellison has literally never been there, and Brendo has, so he kind of has that experience to kind of, lay back on and stuff, so that's obviously going to be huge for him. Let's see here. Oh yeah, I will say though, Alicia Ellison, dude. I forgot who it was, but one of his fights, dude, the ref like the referee like literally contributed to like his loss, because Ellison was on top and he was working. He had just postured up and he landed a nasty elbow and he was trying to move to half guard and the ref stood him up. I'm like, bro, what are you doing? And then immediately the other guy takes down Ellison after they get stood up and he gets a sub. I'm thinking, bro, you can't do that. He's actively working on the ground. He just threw an elbow that landed clean. And he's attempting now to pass to half guard and you stand him up. That ref should absolutely be fired and should lose his license and should never referee a fight again. Because he pretty much directly led to the loss of Alicia Ellison, who I thought was a girl about maybe 5 times over, reading the name on Sherdog. But yeah, I'm going with Perikic, man. I think he's really good. And he has had like genuine kickboxing matches as well, so I don't know, I just trust him. It seems like he's got more skill, you know. And I'm more impressed by his performances. I'm getting a little sick, I think, so excuse me here. Okay, wait, next fight. Michelle Montague versus Luana Carolina. Do you guys remember in the very first prediction of this video I said I'm going to get to another girl I think is a prodigy? Michelle Montague. I think she's going to win this fight. I think she's going to win it easily in the first round by rear naked choke. Every single one of her wins is a rear naked choke, and I think that is very impressive. And I've seen her fights. She looks very strong, very good at controlling, dude. She's incredible, man. She's undefeated, all finishes by rear naked choke. She competed in PFL and Bellator, the two biggest outside of the UFC, pretty much. So that's pretty decent experience. She's not a girl coming to the UFC straight from like the LFA or or some other Cage Wars or something like that. She's coming straight from PFL, like the second biggest MMA organization. Bellator, who's been a runner-up for however many years. I trust that over Luana Carolina. She's got amazing ground control, and she's a sniper on the feet, dude. I mean, Michelle Montague has not spent much time on the feet at all. But every second she's on the feet, she seems like a sniper. Her opponents come crashing in, and she counters them with a straight right down the pipe across the jaw. And I'm like, damn, that is a sniper shot, man. Maybe she just don't have the power to put them out, but those are sniper shots, dude, that she is landing on her opponents on the feet. As little as the time on the feet that she spends, I'm kind of as little time as she has spent on the feet, I'm impressed by how precise she is. She's a sniper, dude, on the feet. So, but she does kind of only seem to have that one straight down the pipe right hand. I haven't really seen her land much else. So, of course, once you start fighting the upper echelon of the UFC, that one sniper shot is not going to work. But, it'll work in the PFL is what I'm saying, for a few seconds on the feet before she gets the takedown. Oh, yeah, Abigail Montez. Her fight against Abigail Montez, man. Abigail made her work. That was one fight where it took her into round 2, and she really did have to work for that one. And I like seeing that. I'm not a fan. All right, I got interrupted. Sorry. What was I talking about? Oh yeah. When I see an undefeated fighter coming up and they're coming to the UFC about to make their debut, and I watch their fights and they haven't had to fight any kind of adversity prior to the UFC, I don't like seeing that, because it just tells you the level of competition that they've always faced. They've always faced nothing but cans that kind of let them do what they want. But when you get girls that have to fight, but when you get girls that have to go against adversity, it shows that they are testing themselves prior to the UFC, and they're getting those hard matchups outside of the UFC, and that they're ready to be in the UFC. You know what I'm saying? So I do like seeing that with an up and coming girl and all that. So, and for Luana Carolina, I mean, she ain't bad, dude. She really ain't bad. She's lengthy. She got very long legs, as you can see. She finished, who was it? Julia Stolyarenko. Welcome to the club, bud. That ain't too impressive. Dude, she did beat Lupe Godinez, though, and Lupe Godinez is really good. So that is definitely something I was looking at. Like, oh, a win over Lupe Godinez right now, like that's a good win, for WMA standards. So, you know, that was definitely one thing I was looking at. Like, ooh, but uh, yeah. She was caught in a lot of submission attempts by Stolyarenko, who is like what 11-9. Ugly ugly has a record. Michelle Montego should walk through her, honestly, and just submit her with ease, I think. I think it's going to be another first round submission by rear naked choke, man. Realistically. That's what I'm going with. So, Michelle Montego. I think she's going to go very, very far. I do think we'll see her versus, like, Kayla Harrison in the future for the championship. Moving on to Colby Thickness versus Josiah Musasa. I'm going Colby Thickness here, man. I know Colby Thickness is 0-1 in the UFC, but so is Musasa 0-1 in the UFC. But Colby Thickness, I just think he's a bit more well-rounded, man. And he trains with City Kickboxing, Volkanovski and him, Adesanya, Dan Hooker, former champions, championship contenders. Like, these guys have been at the top. Some of them still are, So he has great training partners. And he is well-rounded. One thing I like about Colby Thickness' game as well, he's got well-rounded winning methods. He's got multiple finishes. He's got multiple knockouts, multiple submissions, and multiple decision wins. So it shows he can do everything. He can knock you out, he can submit you, or he can go the distance with you and still win. And his only loss is against Alexandre Taporia. That's not a bad loss to have. I get it. Alexandre is not Ilia Taporia. It's his brother. He's not nearly as good. But dude, he's still a decent fighter though. Alexandre Taporia. He's still a decent fighter. So, and he took it on short notice as well. Let's see here. Oh yeah, I just wrote it down. Colby Thickness's win over something Goebel was literally the most pathetic performance I've ever seen. I've never in my life seen a fighter literally attempt to not fight or defend at all, like Goebel did. I'm sitting there watching that fight like, what the fuck are you doing, bro? What are you doing? Not even attempting to defend yourself or fight. He just went out there just to hand Colby the win. I just kind of wanted to yab about that real quick. Trains with City Kickboxing, yeah. It was 2-week notice against Alexandre Taporia. Colby Thickness is also he's like a stick and move fighter. He will get his jab out there and then move, and he'll kind of bounce around outside a little bit, stick and move. He doesn't really crash in. He's very methodical with his strikes, and he's very careful with what he does in there. So, and Josiah Musafa, he got clubbed and subbed in his last fight by God, what's his name? I didn't put his name on the thing. I'm trying to remember. He got clubbed and subbed by old man Carlos Vera, dude. Old ass Carlos Vera hit him with a beautiful head kick, and then he got on the bottom and submitted him with a rear naked choke. It was beautiful, but that would only happen to Josiah Musasa. I can't pick him here. I mean, he's got powerful hands, and he's shown decent durability in the past prior to that match. But I don't know. He's not anything crazy. I think he's mid. I don't think he's UFC level. I think Colby Thickness can be. So that's the difference here. Josiah Musafa is not UFC level. I don't know if he can be. Colby Thickness, I don't know if he is right now, but I think he can be. So, damn, I mean, so I'm gonna take Colby Thickness, but I'm gonna take him by decision though, because I don't know how much I'm gonna rate Colby Thickness's finishing ability in the UFC. But yeah, Colby Thickness got this one, no doubt. Moving on to Jamie Mullarkey versus Rolanda Bedoya. Guys, don't hate me here, but I'm going with Jamie Mullarkey, man. I think there's a reason that this fight's happening. I think there's a reason that they're doing this one, because they want to give Jamie Mullarkey a win. That's what they're doing here. Because I don't think Rolando Bedoya beats him at all, dude. Bedoya to be fair to him, he's never been finished, so he's pretty tough. But he's on a 3-fight losing streak. you know. And I know that Jamie Mullarkey's also on a losing streak, bro. But look at the losing streaks. Rolando Bedoya, his losing streak is against hold on. His losing streak is against Jai Herbert, Chaos Williams, and Song Kenan. And Jamie Mullarkey's losing streak is against Mauricio Huffy, Nasrat Hakparast, and he beat Michael Johnson. Like, dude, these are just different levels of competition. I know you guys seen Jamie Mullarkey get KO'd by Mauricio Huffy, but that does not mean Rolando Bedoya is going to beat him, because Rolando is terrible, man. You know, losing to Jai Herbert in 2024, I think it was. Dude, losing to Song Kenan in 2024, that's a terrible loss, dude. You can't have that loss. Come on. So that's absolutely ridiculous. I'm going with Jamie Mullarkey, man. Their competition levels has just been way too different. Jamie Mullarkey is literally fighting killers in the division, absolute beasts. And he beat Michael Johnson. And that's a really good win, so. But yeah. And Rolando Bedoya is not a KO artist, so I don't see him going out there and smoking Jamie Mullarkey. And he was just smacked around by Jai Herbert like he owned him lunch money, bro. I can't go with Rolando Bedoya, man. He just doesn't look good. He doesn't look good against not good competition. Jamie Mullarkey doesn't look good, but it's at least against a very good competition. Mauricio Huffy, you know, Nasrat Hakparast is not a walk in the park for anybody. So, moving on to Jonathan Metcalf versus Oban Elliott. You guys know I want to go with Oban Elliott, but I can't. I'm going Jonathan Metcalf here. Oban Elliott, I can't get past how terrible he looked in his last fight against what was his name? Sung Kwang Kong or something. I don't want to sound like crazy, but I think it was like something like that. And then, dude, let's not forget how awful he looked against Val Woodburn. Val Woodburn makes his UFC debut and gets KO'd on the feet in seconds by Oban Elliott. No, by Bo Nickel. And then with Val Woodburn's next fight, he goes out there and he starts fucking Oban Elliott up. He's dropping Oban Elliott left, right, center, hurting him bad. Oban did win, but man, he had to go through the fire to do it. And I don't like that because Val Woodburn's not good, you know. And then to be fair to him, he knocks out what's that dude's name? The dude that had his debut had a real close fight with Jack de la Maddalena somehow. Forgot his name. But dude, Jonathan Metcalf is a very tall, lengthy guy who has really nice kicks, dude. His kicks are just beautiful when he mixes it up. He throws beautiful leg kicks, body kicks, and head kicks. And to be fair, I actually think that Jonathan Metcalf is going to have a body kick TKO here. I don't know if you guys seen Jonathan Metcalf's last fight, but it only took him like 2 body kicks to create one of the most visible swelling and redness I've ever seen on anyone's body. He did it after like 2 body kicks, and he kept throwing it. That dude was just really tough, whoever it was. I can't remember off the top of my head. But, dude, Oban Elliott's probably going to get folded by a body kick here, dude. Because Oban Elliott's decent. I just don't like how close he was against some of these absolute shitters. Val Woodburn is dog shit, and you're getting dropped by him multiple times and just barely scraping by a win. But, Bo Nickel knocked him out in like 10 seconds, bud. You know what I'm saying? And then, I don't know, dude. In his last fight, man, he looked terrible. I get it was like a grappling thing, and Jonathan Metcalf is not going to be, like, he's not going to Khabib him like the other guy did, but I'm still going to go with Jonathan Metcalf, bro. I think he's really good, dude, you know? And he's Australian, I believe, in Australia. I think this is going to be a show-stopping performance for him. I think this is really going to up his stardom, man, against Oban. He's going to do it at the expense of Oban Elliott, man. And I like Oban, man. He's really cool. But I'll go with Jonathan, man. Moving on to Cameron Rouston versus Andre Petroski. I'm gonna let you guys in on a little secret here. Andre Petroski is one of those fighters for me. We all have this. We all have this fighter. Okay, no matter who they match him up against, it literally does not matter who they match him up against, I will never pick him. I will never pick Andre Petroski to win a fight. I don't think he's trustable enough. I think he's not durable enough. I think he's kind of a little bitch. And Cameron Ralston's a finisher, man. You know, he goes out there and he looks for finishes all the time. Most of his wins are by finishes. And he's just way better on the feet, man. That's what it really comes down to. I think almost anybody with even just decent stand-up beats Andre Petroski. You know what I'm saying? I don't even think you got to be that good as a defensive wrestler or a defensive grappler. Because let's be honest, Edmund Shabazian is one of the worst defensive grapplers the middleweight division has ever seen. Ever seen. And Andre Petroski couldn't control him. So I don't think you need to be a defensive grappling prodigy. And I think you just need to be even just a little decent on the feet. And you whoop on Andre Petroski, I think. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just think that's how it goes, you know? I don't think he's good. So Cameron Ralston is much better on the feet. And just by that simply alone, I think he's going to beat Andre Petroski. You know? By knockout, I'm going. Round 2. Moving on to Navajo Sterling versus Rodolfo Bellato. This is absolutely no shock to anybody. I'm taking Navajo Sterling. Navajo's decent, dude. He's really good. And Rodolfo Bellato, we all know about Rodolfo Bellato. He's a little bitch, dude. He got up kicked by Paul Craig and then faked going out. He literally got kicked, boom, and then he was falling back, looked at the ref like, and then continued to go. Like, dude, you're a absolute bitch, and you should be ashamed. And he's not even that good. I thought he lost to what's his name? He's on the main card. I think he lost to Jimmy Crute. I think Jimmy Crute won, because I think Jimmy Crute got a 10-8 in round 1, I believe. A 10-8 in round 1. And then Bellato, I believe, won round 2. And I think I gave round 3 to... what's his name? Jimmy Crute. I don't think Rodolfo Bellato is actually that good at all. And I think that Paul Craig was actually looking pretty decent in that fight. So, to make Paul Craig look decent... Navajo Sterling beats you up, little bro. I'm going Navajo Sterling by TKO, man. TKO by Navajo Sterling. All right, moving on to the main card. Tom Nolan versus Charlie Campbell. God, there's so many underdogs on this card that I heavily disagree with. This has been such a terrible year for, like... This has been a great year for, like, betting because... There's so many wrong underdogs. I'm looking at some of these underdogs. I'm thinking, how is he an underdog? Like, he's clearly going to win. Charlie Campbell's one of them, man. How is Tom Nolan the favorite here? Charlie Campbell is way better. Charlie Campbell's going to go in there and he's going to beat the shit out of Tom Nolan, dude. Charlie Campbell's 2-0 in the UFC. Charlie Campbell is a very powerful, dangerous striker. He knocked out Alex Reyes, Dominic's brother. He throws a lot of kicks. He throws a lot of all-around kicks, man. He head kicks, body kicks, head kicks. He'll throw them all and he'll mix them together. He could be taken down, but I don't think that's too big of an issue here against Tom Nolan. Because Tom Nolan failed to submit Slavaclaus. He beat Slavaclaus, but you can't sub him. Please, you ain't subbing Charlie Campbell, dude. Tom Nolan's decently well-rounded. He's a tall, rangy striker. Likes to slip and rip. But here's the thing about Tom Nolan. Here's the thing, you guys. Sean Strickland style. He's well-rounded. Throws a lot of kicks, but he's fragile, bro. Tom Nolan is fragile. Fragile, man. You touch him on the chin and he goes down. Even if he recovers, he will go down. I believe Charlie Campbell will probably drop Tom Nolan in the first minute. And that's if he don't finish him. I do think he'll get a KO here, though. I'm taking Charlie Campbell by not a TKO, a cold knockout against Tom Nolan. Because Tom Nolan, he's fragile, man. You touch that chin, man, you're going to send him to the canvas. That's just what it is, you know what I'm saying? Knocked out in like a minute by Nicholas Mata. Nicholas Mata's powerful, but he's just not that good. You know, he's not better than Charlie Campbell, I don't think. And Charlie Campbell, he got knocked out, but he had a very competitive and a very good fight against Chris Duncan, who is actually getting pretty good in this division. Just beat, God, who he just beat? You guys know who he just beat. But I got Charlie Campbell, man. I think he's too physical, too big, too powerful. I think he's a better striker on top of that as well. And Nolan is just fragile. So Charlie Campbell, round 1 or 2, cold knockout. We're bringing out the stretcher for Tom Nolan is what I think. Moving on to Justin Taffa versus Louis Sutherland. Justin Taffa, dude. Get these Taffa brothers out of the UFC, man. This one right here. Got my notes. Louis has never been finished. 80% knockout percentage. So he is a knockout artist. He's a big guy, patient, technical striker, versatile striker. He's just better than Taffa, man. Taffa is he's a hook merchant. You know what I'm saying? He'll go out there and he'll bang with you. He'll throw hook, and just kind of go crazy. But Louis Sutherland is actually like a pretty technical striker. He goes out there, patient, methodical, hands up where it's supposed to be, and he always brings them back after he throws a shot. And he's big as well. He's got really good finishing potential. And the Taffa brothers are just too easy to knock out, man. I mean, dude got knocked out in like a few seconds, but like 30 seconds by Talison Teixeira. Get out of here, man. What are we doing here, man? This is ridiculous. I'm sorry, but your knockout over that one, can't remember his name, but yeah, I got Louis Sutherland here by knockout in the first round. Moving on to Jake Matthews versus Neil Magny. I'm going Jake Matthews, man. I'm sorry. Like, dude, Jake Matthews has got it, dude. Jake Matthews is not he's not old. He's got a lot of fights and experience on his belt, but he's not old, man. You know? He ain't no Elizeu Zaleski dos Santos. He's not a Mike Malott. This kid is better. Jake Matthews is better. You know, I picked Chidi and Shaquani to beat Jake Matthews, and Jake Matthews goes out there and does what he did. Grabbed the back, immediately submitted with a standard rear naked choke. I think he's going to, oh my God, I think he's going to put hands on Neil Magny, dude. I don't know if he's going to knock him out or sub him, though. Because I think Jake can do both. I do think he's going to get a finish here, but I think it's going to be just completely up to him. I think he can go out there and knock him out just as easily as he can go in there and submit him. Because let's be real, when Neil Magny fights any guy with any kind of merit, they beat him. You know, every time Neil Magny goes in there against anybody that is capable of fighting at all, they just beat him, and they do it very easily. You know, Mike Malott, Elizeu Zaleski dos Santos in 2025. You know what I'm saying? Who else did he just beat? I want to make sure. I want to make sure I'm not tripping. I mean, I know I'm not tripping because Neil Magny's not that good, but view fight history real quick. Let's see what he's got. Yeah, dude, absolutely colded by Protez, colded by Morales, beat Mike Malott, dominated by Machado Gary. Like, dude, he's not going anywhere against anyone of any talent, dude. I'm gonna go with, man, I don't know. I'm gonna go with knockout, only because I do see Jake Matthews hurting him on the feet, and when Neil Magny gets hurt, he always shells up and just quits. So if he hurts Neil Magny, I don't see him continuing. So I'm probably gonna go with knockout. Moving on to Jack Jenkins versus Ramon Tavares. Now I'm going with Jack Jenkins, man, by TKO. Jack Jenkins has some of the most beautiful leg kicks in the UFC. If you watch his fight against Herbert Burns, now to be fair, Herbert Burns has never once in his life stepped into an MMA gym, so that could honestly contribute to why that performance looked so good for Jack Jenkins. But he's a versatile striker, fast, powerful, and he's just a killer, man. Jack Jenkins gets you hurt, man, and he goes for it. I know he lost his last fight to what was that, something Santos, but he dropped him badly with a head kick in the first round. And it was a close fight. It wasn't domination. It wasn't one-sided. He dropped the dude with the head kick in the first round, almost finished him. But the dude survived by wrapping him up in a triangle choke, and then he was able to survive and kind of get back to it, and then ended up taking over and submitting Jack Jenkins. So that was really impressive by him. But, I mean, dude, Ramon Taveras, man. When has he done, like, anything? I mean, he's 1-1 in the UFC. He's got no good wins. He's a technically decent striker, I guess. He is patient, methodical. 80% finish rate, so he does usually get people out of there. He did drop Davy Grant, though. That is one thing. Dropping Davy Grant is not easy, and that is quite impressive, actually. So there's something there. But the one thing I don't like here for Ramon Taveras is that he is a tit-for-tat fighter. He will land one and then wait for you to land, and then land back, wait for you to land, and then he'll just kind of go tit-for-tat with you. And I think if you do that against Jack Jenkins, he will just eat your leg alive. You know what I'm saying? He'll eat your leg alive. He'll just beat you up, honestly. Fix my camera a little bit. So, yeah, I just think he's going to get him out of there. I just think Jack Jenkins is a little too good, you feel me? So, that's what it is, man. Moving on to the co-main event. Jimmy Crute versus Ivan Erslan. I'm going Jimmy Crute, man. I'm going Jimmy Crute, you know, man. That's enough of my notes. Jimmy Crute is, I used to hate on him. I used to think he's so bad. I do think he's kind of bad. I mean, he lost to Anthony Smith. You never lose to Anthony Smith, man. I don't think Ivan Erslan's that good either. He lost to Ian Cutelaba. But then again, I think Ian would beat Jimmy Crute, though. But then he lost to that Turkey guy. What's his name? I forgot. And I think Jimmy Crute would actually beat that guy. So, yeah, I don't know. But I just think the experience here is gonna play a factor. I mean, Jimmy Crute's been in the UFC for longer, I believe. When did Ivan Erslan have his debut, man? Let me check that shit out real quick. He lost to Navajo Sterling and Cutelaba. His only 2 fights in the UFC. Yeah, dude. Jimmy Crute's just been here. He's been here, done that. He's fought the best of the best. He's fought. Has he fought the best of the best? He KO'd Modestas Bukauskas in the first round. That's very impressive. I'm going with Jimmy Crute, man. I'm going with Jimmy Crute by submission. I think he's going to submit Ivan Erslan. So, yeah. Moving on to the main event, folks. This is what you guys have been waiting for. Main event of the evening, guys. I've been back and forth on this one, man, because I really don't know. I still don't know that much. Man, let me check something. I want to check something before I say what I'm about to say. Obviously, we all know that Dominic Reyes beat John Jones. That is the greatest win anyone's ever had because John Jones has only been beaten one time in his career, and it was by Dominic Reyes. So, and John Jones is looked at as the GOAT by a lot of people. And when Dominic Reyes goes in there and he just beats the GOAT like that, is there really a better win in UFC history than beating the GOAT and him still being considered the GOAT after, because that's how good his career was? You know what I'm saying? And John Jones was on steroids too, and Dominic still beat him. Very, very impressive to me. So, you know. And then Dominic Reyes has that slide, gets KO'd by Jan Blachowicz, Jiří Procházka, Ryan Spann. That's when I thought it was really over for him. I was like, okay, he got killed by Jan Blachowicz and Jiří Procházka. He's on a bit of a slide, but those are absolute killers. And then he goes in there and loses to Ryan's fucking Spann. I'm sitting there thinking, oh no, dude, it's over for Reyes in his career. But then he comes back against Dustin Jacoby, which I was actually there live in the audience in the stadium when he beat Dustin Jacoby, knocked him out in the first round. I was hyped in that crowd, man. I was like, oh, Then he goes in there and then he beats Anthony Smith, knocks him out. And then I actually had money against him. I had money on Nikita Krylov. Sleeps Krylov in the first round before it was cool. And now he's going in there against Carlos Ulberg. Carlos Ulberg's coming off of a win over Jan Blachowicz, which honestly he arguably could have lost in my opinion. But Carlos Ulberg, and then he got slept by Kennedy and Nzechukwu. But man, I don't know. Carlos Ulberg is really good. But here's the one issue I have, right? Nobody has ever beaten Dominic Reyes on the feet without just straight up chinning him. I'm being real. Nobody has genuinely went out there and just straight up beat Dominic Reyes on the feet. Most of the fights that he lost, he was actually winning until he just gets straight up chinned. And I don't believe Carlos Ulberg can go out there and just chin Dominic Reyes. So, because he's not really that powerful. And he's kind of like a tit-for-tat guy as well. And I just don't think that works well against Dominic Reyes. I'm really compelled to pick Dominic Reyes here. But I feel like if I pick Carlos Ulberg and it's wrong, it's still an okay pick. But I feel like if I pick Dominic Reyes and be wrong, it's a terrible pick. You know what I'm saying? And it was like, why would you pick Dominic Reyes? I think I'm a little compelled to pick Dominic Reyes because I really, really like him. And I want him to succeed. And so, yes or no? When you want a fighter to win, like, you know what I'm saying, when you really want a fighter to win, you kind of create a narrative that they can win. I don't know how to explain it, but when you really want someone to win, you kind of think of, I don't know how to explain it, but if you know what I'm talking about, then you know what I'm talking about. But I also just believe in someone, even if you maybe deep down don't think they'll win, is still good. I like to believe in people that I really like, so I'm gonna. I do think Carlos is good, but I don't. I actually no biases, all bias aside, I actually don't believe he can chin Dominic Reyes, and we're still yet to see someone genuinely go out there and outstrike Dominic Reyes. So. And I believe Dominic Reyes has more power and better finishing potential than Carlos Ulberg here. So I feel like if anybody's getting a knockout, it's going to be Dominic Reyes. And you guys know how I feel with picking fighters with the finishing advantage. Because if you have the finishing advantage, not only are you just more likely to knock out your opponent and win by finish, but you're just more likely to just hurt. Even if you don't finish him, you're just more likely to hurt him in a moment that wins you a round or two. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to go with Dominic Reyes here by knockout. I do think, I don't know, knockout? I think if Kennedy and Nzechukwu could ever sleep you, you give Dominic Reyes 5 rounds and I think he can find it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think Dominic Reyes can lose a 3-rounder here because Dominic Reyes... It can be kind of hard to win 3-rounders if you're a 5-round fighter because you don't have as much time to work. But for Dominic Reyes, I think he's a really good 5-round fighter, and he gets really good as the fight goes on. So does Carlos Ulberg, but I really like Dominic Reyes' IQ, his fight IQ, and he always seems to do better the later he goes into fights. And I think if Dominic Reyes knows that he's losing a fight on the scorecards, he's one of those fighters where it's like, okay, you're winning going into round 5, but Dominic Reyes is the kind of fighter in round 5 to literally just say to himself, like, dude, I have to knock him out or get knocked out. And he goes out there with that mentality and tries to do that. And again, I think Dominic Reyes is more likely to get a knockout than Carlos Ulberg is. So I'm gonna go with Dominic Reyes here by knockout in like round 4. Yeah, it's gonna be a very late rounds TKO, 4 or 5 or something like that, with Carlos Ulberg probably maybe winning some early rounds. But yeah, I got Dominic Reyes, man. I got Dominic Reyes. He's very powerful, man, and Carlos Ulberg is not. So, anyways, I appreciate you guys for listening. I think this was a very long video. Was it not? How long is this video? 40 minutes. That's fine with me. I'm going to end it here. Let's go Dominic Reyes, the Devastator. And I'm going down to Reyes. All right, I appreciate you guys. I have to hop in the shower. I got work tomorrow. So yeah, appreciate you guys. Bye.